Let me get all these distractions out of my way.
All right, so we are live, and this is, I believe, the 155th episode, and excited to be here with Aladdin, Mike, Ray. Thank you for doing this.
155, 155.
155.
Thank you, Eric, for hosting us.
Yeah, I mean, so, okay, a couple things. Number one, the reason why this I felt was like perfect timing, and I'm glad you all were available, was because the autofilm mastery course, the workshop that just went down in LA a couple weeks ago. So that's, in my mind, what really wanted to discuss and recap. And I had some questions. I'm sure other people have questions, but most importantly, I think you three have a lot of valuable things to say. So I don't have, like, I want to kind of not turn it over. Of course, I'll be here with you and asking questions and so on. But for the most part, I really want to give you all a chance to speak, because I think that is really how we can get the most value. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be manning cameras. So I want to, have the person speaking be the focus. And so I will not be distracted. That's what I'll be doing, as well as putting comments on the screen and so on.
Love it.
So that's the rundown for anybody wondering what's going on today.
Mike's always.
Let's do it.
Mike's first.
Okay.
I don't know what Mike's gonna say, but it's always good. So Mike's always first.
No, you go first. You go first.
Well, let me do a little introduction, I guess. Okay, when we talk about the event, because I can let's put some boundaries around it. Let's pull up the pictures. Let's start there, and let's show what we're talking about. This is a picture of everybody the last day at the very end. So I don't know that it's everybody, but it is the people who got together for the picture at the second day at the very end. So two more pictures. This was the first day. We have Sean Roche from one of the trainers, and he's up there speaking on the business side of things, I believe, that day. And then finally we have a shot of not the best shot, sorry, but it is a shot of the second day, which was the hands-on, where all the vehicles, everyone kind of see there, wraps around, everybody's getting hands-on time with the trainers on all the vehicles, just to kind of give everybody an idea. And this all happened at Philip Chan's shop, Aerowerkz in City of Industry, right outside of Los Angeles. So, Mike, take it from here.
So, man, this
Now, for real though, tell me a little bit behind the idea of the course. This isn't the first workshop you've all done. This is, I believe, the third or fourth, and this was an advanced one, and it was the first time you introduced business into it, right?
Yeah. Well, we actually went into business big time on this one, and the reason why was every workshop that we put together, it was crazy. The first workshop was more of me teaching somebody how to tips, tricks, and for installation, and then people just started talking to me, and they just wanted to learn more business. So I said, you know what, the second workshop, we're going to include half business and then half installation. And then that workshop, even on that workshop, they wanted more business. And then our third one, we have it, and then we coordinate it really, really good, so everybody can get the most out of learning how to grow their business and everything else. And we focus on that. And even after that, they want more. So then when we did the LA workshop, that's the first time we ever did a 2-day workshop. So we focused the whole first day on helping, making sure everybody learn how to overcome sales objective, how to grow their business and stuff like that. It was pretty awesome because we had a lot of people on there. We had me, Ray, you, Sean, Philip, Billy. I mean, we just had everybody that's on there that's willing, want to help everybody grow the business.
And you mentioned from the beginning that, you told me, you said your main focus was just making sure that everybody walks away with value. And
yes,
it felt like even within the 2 days, it felt like everybody's it felt like it was so packed. I mean, would you agree that you nailed it as far as making sure everybody walked away with value?
That is the most important part. And I do get text message and PM and everything. telling me thank you and everything else. The book that we gave them was gold. Just a lot of value that I know we could produce more value on top of it. We always could give out a lot more information, and that's what we're gonna keep on doing with the next workshop, the workshop after that, the workshop after that. It'll just keep on growing. Just like anything in business, there's always going to be something that change, and we change with it.
So when I think autofilm mastery, my first thought was your online course. Like that's where my mind goes, to your online training course. But then, this is now an ongoing thing of these workshops, and being at this one, it's clearly successful. There's no doubt in the world you're going to be selling out the next one and the next one after that. Like there's no doubt in my mind, at least. So can you kind of tell me more of like, what's your vision behind this? Because it didn't feel like at the event, it didn't feel like at the workshop that in any way your goal was to sell people on your online training. That didn't feel like like it didn't feel like any part of it.
We don't want to do that. I mean, that's very important that even when we introduced Tint Wiz to it, we said it was very important that you have a CRM program. And if you don't, we actually have a solution for you. And I mean, it's something I use. But we always want to make sure you have something, just some type of education. I mean, even Ray with MediaTune market. He didn't market his marketing company. People that sat there don't know that he got the 10 biggest cities sold out on his marketing. That if you wanted to market there, you can't get in because he only do one per city. He didn't market that. I mean, it was very important that we gave everybody. We wanted to help everybody take their business to the next level. And if you don't pick the online training that we provide, Autofilm Mastery or any CRM or anything else that we use, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, that was very important that you have that, tips, tricks, just in your business to help you grow. That was very important for it. But yeah. The last thing I want to do is start talking about, the tools I'm making, the video I'm making to help you. It's not about that. It's about, helping grow your business, overcoming. I mean, it was pretty cool that we had a Q&A and everybody was asking questions, especially we had a firm that do, taxes and stuff, Sloan, and he was really awesome at answering questions like that, like question like that, and then us answering question how to overcome like stuff that you're facing in your own business, and that was the important part about the workshop, not about what we're doing in our personal business.
Yeah, and that was really apparent. Before I actually put Marco's question up on screen, Ray, do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, man, I'm getting pumped up just thinking about what Mike was talking about. I'm actually I'm glad you brought up Marcos too. I was going to text him, man. I was like, hey, bring the magazine up there. Marcos, I got your magazine with you on the cover, brother. Congratulations on that. But yeah, these, man, there's just so much to digest. There's so much. You brought that question, Eric, about the future. And me, Aladdin, Mike, I mean, it's something that we just are constantly talking about. This was just one stepping stone. In the beginning, when we said, let's do this business workshop, we said, well, man, there's so much to business. We can't pack that in 4 hours. There's no way. There's just so much that goes into running a business. There's so much that guys like us struggle with, right? And we all see it. Mike, he owns and operates some of the biggest shops in the country. And on top of that, he traveled the country as a master trainer. So he speaks with the industry. He's an industry leader. Same thing with you, Eric. You have Tint Wiz. You have the reach of the industry. Same thing with MediaTune. Me and Aladdin. We work with some of the largest shops in the country. And if you have that reach, you'll have that understanding that there's so much that you have to learn in business to really grow and scale. So that's where, I remember we were talking, we said, let's just do 2 days. And then on the second side of that was the install side. But we're just getting started. I think that it goes much more than, like you said, much more than us just trying to pitch some products that we all obviously have. It's not, we had guys there and they said, wow, man, it was like, we could tell you guys really cared. It's not like a training that we've ever been to before. So they didn't even know how to respond. And at the core of it, there's not a platform where the true leaders of the industry, the guys that are in the front lines building these businesses, talking with our clientele. There's not a platform until now, Auto Mastery, where those leaders can come and preach and give back and share secrets and share insights. You'll find that the industry is really generous. There's a lot of guys that want to help, but what we're trying to do now is it's not the, Ray and Aladdin show. It's not the Mike show, right? No, these are the leaders in the front line, and this is what we're seeing. And we're trying to give back to the industry. We're trying to help it grow. This industry is going through a growth phase. For those who are at the event, one of the first things that I talked about when I went up is, man, we're going through a growth period right now. Like there's a huge amount of consumers that don't even know paint protection exists, either coating or paint protection film, right? And that's a huge upside, because with that small amount of people that actually know what it is, right, there's still an installer shortage nationwide. You still have shops popping up all across the country nationwide, right? Those are all signs of a massive trend and a massive industry that's growing pretty quickly. So it's exciting, man. It's something that we talk about all the time. Shout out to Aladdin. What country are you in right now? He's on vacation, so I'm glad you made it. Aladdin.
Oh yeah, it was overdue, and yeah, we're in Spain right now, South Spain, a city called Nera. I hope I said that correctly, near Malaga. So, but going back to that point, I just wanted to expand to what Eric was asking, why we wanted to do the workshop beside the online courses that we have. The reason also behind that, more than what Mike said and Raymond, that how many times you went to a workshop and you do not remember what you have done there or what you could have done better, right? Or to remember the whole, it's 2 days event, right? And nobody can remember everything, right? So the idea is the online course, it's complementary to the the workshop, the live workshop course as well, workshop. So we wanted people to, this stuff engraved in their mind, and when they get back home, they can have a reference to go to and look at it, and like, okay, Mike did it this way. Oh wait, I didn't remember that. Wait, did Philip do it that way? Let me rewind and see how did he do it. You know what I mean? So we're in the world right now, which everything is video, and we want people to have that in their, their arsenal whenever they can get new car to the shop, or car they never worked on, that they have a reference there to go back to.
Right. And everybody did walk away with actual physical paper scripts and information. You're not leaving it up to them to take notes. And I personally like that method, because I do think, like, when sometimes, like you said, you go to a workshop or a dealer meeting or whatnot, you leave feeling inspired. It's kind of like a dream. You knew it when you had it and they were there, but then it kind of escapes you, like just the actionable. But when you actually leave with a script, and like Mike said, at the time, he said, this is a script, this is my script. You can change it to be your script, and that's right. But the important part is having a script, so you have consistency and you can scale, and other people can be like you, and so on. And everybody left with that booklet of information. I think that was super valuable.
Man, wait, Eric. So wait till you see the book 2.0. We can don't say anything, Mike. So there's a lot that we're working on right now, and it's just, again, it's the amount of stuff that you have to master as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. Not just in our industry, but any industry. It's tremendous, And I think you hear us say it all the time. You've heard it on our content. If you follow us at Auto Mastery, like, comment, share, all that stuff, right? But if you guys follow us or you've been to the workshop, you hear us say true mastery. There's no end goal in mastery. The true mindset of a master is learning never stops. It comes with a mindset and an understanding that you're got to keep learning. The guys that get the most value from these events is the guys that are also in the front stage speaking and presenting and teaching, right? Like me, Mike, Aladdin, we've learned so much just from trying to run and host the events. You know, every time you mentioned that this is our 4th workshop, right? The first one was just for the AutoFlow Mastery community, right? It was small. We still sold out in like a week and a half, I think it was. 11 people showed up. They flew in from all over the country to Mike's shop. The second one, we said, okay, we're going to do like 20. And then we were like, well, shoot, it's already too late. So we ended up
The
getting
first one we had almost 20. It was like 19, I think.
In your shop?
In Vegas.
Oh, in Vegas.
The one in
right.
Vegas. That's the one in
That
Vegas.
Was That's right.
Yeah,
that was a collaboration, right?
That was the first one we ever did.
That's true. That's true. That was back in November. The mindset then was kind of like, yeah, let's try it out. Let's see where it goes. And then we said, oh, and then that's right. The second was in January at Mike's shop in Houston. That was the AutoFlow Mastery Community one, right? I think what really
that one was strictly just for our group.
Yeah.
For everybody that was on the online course, so that was strictly for them. And then the third one, we opened it up to the general public.
And we got, I think that was the second one at Mike's shop, and that's where we were kind of thinking like, well, you know, we're not going to get a huge amount of influx, but we ended up getting 24, 25 people who flew over. We had people come from Hawaii, from New York, in Canada, from all over the place. And then this past workshop, man, I don't think we knew what we were getting ourselves into. I think our goal was, you know, hey, let's double. Let's do about 40. Ended up doing, you know, mid 50s. And at that point, I remember it was a couple days before, we were already saying like, well, shit, we got to put on a show anyways. And we had some people calling Aerowerkz after the first day saying, hey, is it too late to show up? I seen the workshop. I seen Aerowerkz. I seen what you guys putting on. And Aladdin was trying to talk with him. And we said, well, shoot, it might as well just let him come in, you know, let him sign up for the second day. Because at that point, the building was packed. You know, we had about 50 attendees, but the whole
they were local too.
With our sponsors, we had at least 70, 80 people in Aerowerkz just there for the workshop.
And can you kind of touch on the diversity of people that were there, skill level wise, shop wise? Like it was super diverse, right?
Big time. We were actually, you know, Mike, you might want to talk to that because we had some giants that attended.
There's probably I wouldn't say a bunch, but there's a few guys that been in business for 22 years, and they want to bring their manager to come over. They actually never had a structure themselves. I mean, there's a guy named I forgot his name. Last name Park. He's out in Washington.
Yes.
2 years. He came to the workshop. And,
James Park? Do you say Park?
Yeah, last name Park. I forgot.
James Park.
Yeah, James Park. Yeah. So James, he was like, man, I'm bringing my manager over. And then he texted. And then when he got home, about 2 or 3 days later, he's like, Mike, this book is gold. But he wanted structure for his company. If you know anything about James, I think is about to open his third shop. He's on his second one. But James actually is one of those guys that he's one of the biggest PPF, or he might be the biggest PPF dealer in Washington. And he's one of those guys that, you know, started this from just a one-man team, and he just haven't had that structure in it. And he wanted to build that because, you know, multiple locations are going to require him to duplicate himself. And you know, all his structure that James have is right here in his head. He don't have he don't have a process. Every process is in his head. And that's how it is for guys like me and everybody else that built their business. When we first started out, we don't have like a corporate process where if you go to the restroom, you got to follow this rule. If you go to the lunchroom, you got to follow this rule to get in the building. Or if you meet somebody, you got to say this or whatever. Well, I mean, that's what he was there for, and he loved it. And plus, he get to bring his sales manager to come see that, and then you know, and hopefully his sales manager can see that process and follow it. And you know, I mean, take that process that I gave in that book and make it himself. You know. That was like the good part of it. There was some new guys that's in there. This is an advanced workshop, and you know, for them to see this, even if you're getting into the business, like I tell everybody, I say you're welcome to come to this workshop, but just know it's advanced. But just for them to see this, and then and know that, hey guys, if we're opening a brand new tent shop or PPF shop, we need to be structured. Because I tell everybody that you need to start that structure now, not when you get 10, 20 employees. Then it's kind of hard to tell everybody you have to do this, you have to do that, and they've been doing something for a few years. You just have to have this right now. Like in the beginning stage is the best, but it's never too late. You know, it's never too late.
Look, things like having a script, even if you're the sole person, you should have a script for yourself. You shouldn't be winging it. There should be a way that you answer the phone. Like that's a basic thing for success on a phone, but there's obviously more examples of those processes. A couple questions that were in there that I think are relevant. The book, the paperwork that we were talking about that people got if they attended the course, is there any way in the world somebody can purchase that now or in the future if they weren't at the event but they want access to it? If they join Autofill Mastery, is there any way to access any of this?
That is something that we kind of kept, like, so you know, I'm the one that developed this script and all the process, because that's my company, and you know, I did it myself. So you know, I got somebody to come fix the grammar and stuff. If you know, my grammar's not there, but you know, I did it for my own company, and then Ray saw it one day, and he was like, Mike, this is gold. Like, what are you doing with this? I said, this is what we use. But, you know, I develop it, so I think nothing of it. And then, you know, Ray always takes me back to basic, like with everything. He's like, you know, Mike, you're too advanced. Like, you think all this is nothing, but you got to think about like when you first started, like this is like gold. Like people don't know how to do this. It take them like 10 years to learn how to even do something like this. And so I started giving that out at the workshop, and then I started adding to it, and then people was wanting more and more, and then you know, we got together, and that paperwork is, I look at it, and now it's called a blueprint. We're actually gonna make something really, really nice. I'm getting with Ray on it. If you're asking us if we're gonna sell it or not, I don't know. I just know that book is gold. But it's gonna be gold. Like, but it's something that the group still have to decide. I really personally, I think it should be only for somebody that attend the workshop, because I could give you that book and it mean nothing to you. But if I sit there and explain it and interact with you on how you're supposed to use it, that thing is like a 10 time, maybe 100 time worded and better, because you actually understand it. Because I can give you a script, and I promise you, I could give 99% of somebody in the PPF industry that script, and they'll be like, what the hell is this? And they'll throw it down the gutter. They don't know that that script is gold. Like, it overcomes sales. If you tell me why, if you was to ask me, like there's a question, there's one of the questions that they always ask the guy down the street is doing it cheaper. And then, you know, one of my answer is, let me see his quote, let me see his price. But then one of my answer always been is to like, let me ask you this question. You do not want to take your car to the cheapest guy. You want to see the facility, what tools they're using, if they're professional in the industry. And I always say that, and it's in the script, it's more in depth detail. And then people see it, they're like, oh man, that's why he's getting all those jobs. And then there's another one, another famous one is, the guy down the street is Karen Expel or 3M. I mean, those are the two, you know, household name when you're thinking about paint protection film, or maybe Windleton. And then I said, and the script tell you how to overcome it. It'll be like, guys, they're all film or 10 mil, they're self-healing. I mean, they got the same 10-year warranty, self-healing, and self, you know, some of the stuff like this.
Right.
Don't worry about the film, worry about the installer. You know, ask him how many years he's been doing this, how many years he's been in business. Ask him, have he ever worked on this car? Those are the questions you need to ask. And then when you give your customer question to ask, you're actually in their head all the time because they're like, man, he told me all this like answer I mean question I need to ask, and he gave me the answer that I answer his question because I'll be like, I've been in business since 2005. We got 2 facility, climate control, stuff like that. And then we're always we overcome that self-objection all the time. And that's what the script does. But it's more important that you interact, like you come to the workshop and see how we handle all these scripts and process and everything else, instead of giving you a book and here, read it, and you don't really understand it. How a workshop with us demonstrating, you understand it a lot better. Did I explain that good?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I think that's the conversation that has been going on internally. How can we make sure people leave here and they can grow, they can take their business to the next level? One of the big things that we're working on right now is breaking down the steps in that booklet that we passed out, right? Breaking down, bridging the gap. Okay, here's the goal, here's where you need to go, but what are the steps? What are the daily steps to get there, right? That's something we're talking about internally. And then also we're adding on to it. Me and Aladdin are pretty excited because we found a way to really make marketing digestible for anybody in all steps of their business, whether you're on day 1, year 1, or you're 2 years in, you're 5, 10 years in, every step. And you're going to start seeing a little bit more of me and Aladdin inside that book. Because as you guys know, marketing can be incredibly complicated. And right now it's more important than ever to make sure that your online presence is solid. So it's all parts of business, right? We're talking about leadership as well. We talked a tremendous about leadership and hiring and building your team and structure and payroll and protecting your back end and systems, processes. But at the end of the day, for us, it's how can we really make sure that we can deliver that and make it give actionable steps that's going to make a massive impact. And that's why we decided, hey, workshops are a must, right? You got the online courses, and that's how we developed online courses too. We, me and Mike, Aladdin, we came together and we said, what's the most important thing? What do people need right now? Well, we know they want advanced. Let's do advanced. So we have our advanced mastery course, right? And then after that, on top of that, we did this at the same time. We said, well, we need intro because people, they need help developing installers. And if we had a course, if we had intro to PPF, it'd be a blueprint and an easy way for people to cut down the days and weeks and months it takes to train a new installer. So let's do that. And then we had another problem where people said, well, hey, this helps me out a lot, but I still can't install on that, TRX. I still can't tackle that Raptor. So Mike came out and said, hey man, let's build a library. Let's build a library. And we said, all right, fine, we're going to do it. We're going to just get all the most challenging vehicles, the most popular vehicles for our industry, and put them into a library full of step-by-step videos. And then again, even then, we had guys come to us and say, well, what if I only do two jobs a month? What if I only do 3 jobs a month? I'm not there yet. Auto from Mastery. So we came up with on demand. Get 1 vehicle at a time. If you just want to tackle Teslas all day long, here, get it. You get the mini course, and you get to keep it for life. So, and then of course now the workshops are there because you need that hands-on place. And up until this point, there has not been any option for business. There's been nowhere you can go to get that business blueprint or that business.
Ray, we're always evolving. You got to see how, I always say, like, you don't want to be fast, you want to be efficient, but we're always evolving. And the thing about this team, me, Ray, and Aladdin, is, man, we listen to everybody. Like when you, just like what you say, when we only install the film 2 or 3 days a month. Okay, now we got on demand where you could actually just purchase that car. We're like always evolving because I want. This is what, before I came out with this, I was one of those guys that say personally in my head, like, I want hands-on skill. I want to be hands-on. Like a video won't teach me. And then all of a sudden, I say like 2016, when I started like watching more YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and I see stuff and I'm like learning stuff all the time. But I was that guy like in 2005, like I want to sit next to If I want to learn tint or something else, I want to I think hands-on is it. But so when we developed this course, it was very, very important that we put everything we got into it. So when you watch these video, you can actually learn how to do PPF, and then soon, same thing with tint. It's going to be very important. I mean, there's guys that watch Sean Roach video and they're tinters already. I mean, that's amazing. If you put out the right, um, if uh, if you put out the right steps to teach somebody, and you know how to do it, and you could do it online, it'll work. I know it'll work. I could walk guys through over the phone how to install something because I'm able to do something like that, and I could do it 10 times better with a video. And I mean, I just got a message like earlier today from Stuart in Nevada, so I'm gonna give him a shout out. He said he did a one-piece trunk, I think, on a Model 3, Model Y, and he said I couldn't do that. He said thank you for your video because I did a one-piece trunk, and and it's working because I'm not showing off. Like if you watch YouTube, you're not getting the full instruction. If you're watching somebody on on Instagram and stuff, you're not getting the full instruction. But if you're watching the autofill mastery video, I'm like slowing everything down by like 10. And I'll be like, you got to tack here. This is how much solution I have here. You got to tack here. We're going to be stretching here. And if you're given that kind of instruction, man, you can learn anything. But if you're just showing somebody like you're doing this and then doing this, and there's very like important steps that you kept out. I mean, you actually didn't talk about that. You need to know, and that person might say, I just can't get it. I've been watching this video 100 times. I can't get it because nobody's explaining step-by-step instruction on how to do that. And that's what it was important. And we put our all into this, like to make sure this is the best learning platform you're gonna have. Until this day, nobody ever have step-by-step instruction on how to do the most challenging car in the industry. I mean, think about it. If you're getting a wide body Dodge Charger, we got it. If you're getting the e-tron is about to be loaded next, you got a G-Wagon in there. You even got a Bugatti. I mean, like nobody is giving you this. It take a lot of time, and filming and experience. I'm lucky I'm with these guys because if you ask me if I could do all this by myself, I'll tell you no, because it take a whole team to do this. It take, a lot of talent. I'm an installer. Ray and Aladdin, they come with different, skill set that help to put this together. And lucky we were able to find each other. I'm really lucky. I've been wanting to do this for 5 or 6 years. It's just like I got like hundreds of installer every year say, "Hey, Mike, you should do." Because I'm always producing like little video with my iPhone. They're like, "Mike, you should do a training with your video." And I was like, yeah. I mean, everybody tell me that, and I've been wanting to do that, but I don't have the skill set to do all this. I run a shop, I install at a high level, and then I met these guys, and I'm like very blessed that like we all met each other and we're able to come together and do this for the industry.
That's awesome.
Love it, man. Love it.
It's speaking to that too. Just a quick. I don't know if you know this, Mike. The other day there was a guy in the community, our community, Autofill Mastery. He's all the way from Mauritius, which is a small island east of Africa. Everybody know where in Madagascar? That's like east of that.
Wow.
So, to show you like how far Autofill Mastery went, and that is just really humble because you can reach some areas in the world that they don't have access to Mike personally, phone call or even travel to see and learn from him, that can actually, reach out on Facebook, but not only to see, like Mike was saying, that, stretching here or just a picture of a car. No, actually reaching out to Mike, like, Mike, how did I do this? Right? Like, how did I do this, hood? Or how did I do this fender? And he's right there. And he was so thankful that we came up with Autofill Mastery to address these issues, and for people like him that there was no chance for them to come to the United States to learn how to do this. So
yeah, I mean PPF is growing. There's country that are just learning how to drive cars now, you know. I mean, and they're buying cars. I mean, PPF is growing. It's growing. Not only that, it could be applied to anything. It's evolving. You got color PPF coming out. You got PPF you can put on top of furniture, you know, your countertop and stuff like that. It's evolving. So I mean, the car thing, I just think that's small compared to what it can be, because you can go protect a luxury home, you know, like a nice, like whatever they did to the wall or something, and protect that. It's just growing. It's a lot of stuff you can do to it. So it's just not about cars anymore. And then, you know, same thing, we'll evolve with that too. I mean, we'll teach you how to do a tabletop. I mean, if that comes down, you know.
Actually, I saw that, Mike.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
If somebody just went in the group, right, in one of the Facebook groups or in maybe Autofill Mastery or whatever, and said, hey, look, this is my sales pitch. Like, this is how I generate leads. These are the ads I run on, let's say, Google Ads or Facebook. And then this is my pitch. I schedule a consultation. This is what I show as a sample to the customer. This is how I price. This is how I measure the counters and measure the fridge. This is how I price individually. Then this is how I install, you know, this is the method, the process, and then that's it. If somebody like literally just draws those dots together for everybody, whether that be tonight or in a month from now, there will be like hundreds and then like 1,000. It'll be like flat glass. It's the same thing, but it's like somebody actually has to do it, and somebody's doing it. There are people who do it, but there's people who do it on the side whenever they get a chance, and they don't put a process. There's people who have a process, and they're sure as fuck not going to share the process with anybody because they know the value they're going to have getting that head start and being that first adopter. And then there's the evolution to when it gets shared by somebody, right? But like, that's coming. That's a huge market. Like, it's for sure, right? For sure. The money people spend in their kitchens and countertops and homes, huge. Coding, PPF. Say what?
I can't wait to direct those videos. Those would be the easiest videos to direct ever.
So let's talk about videos for a second. Y'all put out some fire ass videos for Autofill Mastery. So if you're not following them on Instagram, that's where I watch you, but I imagine that they're also on TikTok and Facebook as well. But anyway, the point is you put out some great content. Now, it's not easy to put out great content. You're putting it out. I imagine, can you kind of, I guess what I'm saying is MediaTune for your marketing company. And then Autofill Mastery essentially is an example, the way I'm guessing, of some of the things your marketing company, MediaTune, can do for a company, as far as like what kind of video you can produce for a company, what kind of ads you can put. Like, that's the way I at least see it. Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I'll speak to that. I mean, the video production side, it's an animal, it's a monster. But, you know, like Mike said, you know, when we came together, it was one of those situations where we said, well, shit, it sounds like a great idea. Let's do it. You know, and we moved very, very fast. We started Autofill Mastery. But the reason why we were able to put out so much content at scale is because our MediaTune team, we're able to, we kind of have a cheat code, if you will. We've already experimented with paint protection film and ceramic coating and window tint all over the country. So we know what grabs attention. I mean, if you look at what Autofill Mastery does, that's the blueprint right there. Like, look at what we do. Like, we're working, we're practicing what we preach, right? If you look at what we're doing, we're pumping out videos daily. We're focusing on Instagram Reels. We're focusing on TikTok. Pretty soon you're going to see YouTube Shorts and the YouTube channel coming out. Once we build up the team a little bit more, we're trying to build a team around Autofill Mastery right now, just so we have more manpower, because there's a lot of moving pieces. Just really the power of video is something that is underestimated. You know, if you follow me, you'll know. If you've seen me and Aladdin and MediaTune, you'll know we talk and preach video all day long. And it's just because, I mean, look at what you're doing now. You're watching the video. It's a live stream, but it's a video, right? This is what people do on their phones. This is what people do with their lives nowadays. This is how people learn. This is how people relax. This is how people connect. It's everything. And this is how consumers make purchasing decisions as well, right? So it's, you know, in a long-winded way, it's just we've had that opportunity to really just put out a shit ton of content. MediaTune puts out more PPF content than all the manufacturers combined. And I'm gonna take that trophy and I'll say it to everybody because it's true. You need it. You know, you need it. You need content. You know, and that's really what.
Can I put you on the spot and ask you who's in second place? You're 100% right. There's no way any manufacturer producing more content than you all for PPF. But who do you think puts out some decent content? If somebody comes to mind, a manufacturer, anybody. Does anybody come to mind? And if it's nobody, that's an answer too.
Put me on the spot. So am I free to mention names, huh?
We're going. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I'm not mentioning bad things. I'm just curious who's doing a good job.
You know, I think if you look at their social media accounts, that'll give you the answer.
Credit where it's due. Is it due anywhere? Because I see some bad ads, like some super bad stuff coming from manufacturers. Like, I mean, bad. Like, it's like, what year? How? Who did this? Who put this together?
But you know what the difference is? So back then when I see video, and I'll say like a few. I mean, some of the best video I've seen is from like Ceramic Pro and stuff.
Yep, that would probably be
when I see video. There's a difference between what Ray do, and I had a hard time learning because he even told me today. He's like, Mike, you can't do those video. Like all we do is educational video. You cannot do those videos because that video look cool. That's for somebody that already got it done. Like we need to explain the process because paint protection film only hit 2 to 5% in some areas. We need to let them know that there is paint protection film. There's such thing as this magical clear product that can protect your car from rock, chip, and scratches. And I have and then I was like, Ray, I want this video to look like this. He said, no, Mike, that's a cool looking video, but it's like this. I can cook the best hamburger, and I want to open a hamburger shop. I need to let everybody know that I got the best hamburger and what kind of meat I use and whatever else. It's the same thing with paint protection film and all these shops. So now my whole mindset is different. I look at another video and I'm like, man, that's a badass video, but I would never want to spend $10,000 marketing that video because that video is just cool.
Right.
But then I get another video that have us just scratching a car. $1 million car. I mean, just let me scratch $1 million car and pull it off. This is paint protection film to stop you from rock, chip, and scratches. Educational. Right. Instead of showing a car driving fast, like going like 100, 200 miles per hour, and that's this car that's going fast and look and stop you from rock, chip, and scratches. That's a different we're trying to hit that consumer. That consumer that got 10, 20, 30 cars that already got 10, 20, 30 PPF, he already using the company. You're showing out to somebody that'll never use you. I mean, we're trying to do a video that is, this guy just graduated college. He just got his first job making, I don't know, $120,000, $160,000 a year. He just bought his first BMW. This guy is doing his research, buying that car, and then what he gonna put in that car, that's the guy we're targeting. And then you know what? Once we have him, maybe in 2 or 3 years, he's making $1 million and he's buying like 10 more cars. He's gonna keep on using. That's your client. But you don't want to advertise to somebody that got 20, 30 cars and already have a shop that they deal with. That's just don't make sense anymore. Like like Ray said, I mean, we're going through a growth in this industry, and there's new guys every year. There's somebody that's just graduated with a PhD in college and landing a $200,000 or $300,000 job, buying his first car. That's who we want. Not that cool video of a drone going in the air and following a car on 100 mile per hour, and that Raptor look cool, and they got Ceramic Pro on it, or Expel PPF or something. What the hell is Expel PPF and Ceramic Pro? I mean, it's just a cool video. That's it.
Let me go ahead.
Raymond, I just want to say something important that Mike just referred to. This is, and I'm going to spill the beans, Mike and Raymond. Mike, he just said it, but this is the most important thing. People who advertise or they pretend that they're advertising, what we have seen is the simplest thing, that you have to know who you're advertising to. It doesn't matter how many likes, it doesn't matter how many comments, but if you do not know the pain of your client, or let's put it another way. A lot of people, how much do you think, Mike and Raymond, like 95% of consumer, they don't know what is PPF, right?
Oh, of course.
So now in marketing that's called, people, they don't know what is the problem. They're not problem aware, right? And then when you come in and you show them that this is the solution, but you show them that you are the expert of that problem, they don't know it exists. And you should see in how many people in media to an advertisement that we do for our client, they go and scratch their head like, I don't know that there is such thing called, PPF that actually protect the car. How come the manufacturer never thought about, protecting the paint of the car? And what you're doing here, you present them with a problem, they don't know that it exists. And you, at the same time, you show them that you are the solution for it because you're the expert in it, right? So that's just a quick hint that you need to know who is your client, right?
I mean, check this out. If everybody's watching, if y'all watching, y'all gotta listen to this. I know y'all advertising window tint, and y'all probably say everybody know what window tint is. I mean, everybody do know what window tint is. It's the first aftermarket add-on when the consumer buy a car. But y'all need to be like, because everybody's advertising the same thing about window tint, but a lot of people don't know what infrared window tint or ceramic window tint or whatever, the technology in it. And that's when you come out with a educational video. It's like, do you think because your film is dark, it'll keep you from heat? I mean, there's a technology in the film, and we probably installed the most windshield ever, because nobody think that window tint. I need to stop saying window tint, but we say it because that's what the consumer understand. But nobody think window tint come clear. Nobody. And then you're wondering like how we're getting $1,000 window tint. It's because we market this infrared technology, because 53% of your heat come from infrared. Is the heat that you feel. And then you should do your glass, your front windshield, the biggest glass, the one in front of you, the one that let in the most heat. People are following the same, like, you got to put window tint on your car. You got to put window tint in your car. But our marketing is going differently. Like, we're like, man, we're gonna be way better. We're gonna, you know what? A lot of consumers don't know what ceramic window tint is, or infrared window tint, but they know what window tint. So if you're gonna advertise, like I run through stuff. My brain is always working. I said, man, he's doing it wrong. He's gonna lose his money, because everybody's like, hey, we do window tint. We do window tint. We got that 5% shade and stuff like that. But that been going on like what, I don't know, 30, 40 years like that. Like, you got to overcome that.
Yeah. If I can, let me add into that, Mike, because I think it's interesting that, we started talking about the video side. It drifts off into the marketing side because it's so important. It goes hand in hand. But if I could take this to big picture for a second, we want to grow an industry. We want to help the industry grow. We want to elevate the industry at the end of the day. That's one of the common conversations in the Auto Mastery team. It's something that we talk about all the time. We really want to help the industry grow because we see the potential. We can all ride the wave together. There's enough business for everybody. I mean, how many people buy a new car every single day? Now, how many of those people know what paint protection film is, or even ceramic coating? Not enough. That's the answer. Not a fucking enough. So Now imagine this. We were talking about the manufacturers. Yes, there's some guys out there that are advertising. They got some good videos. You know, Mike had a great analogy. Don't advertise film, advertise infrared. If you understand that concept there, that's a massive difference. And you're listening to your customers. The questions your customers ask you is commonly the most common product or the most common video you need to make. Well, if we had way more education in the industry from all the manufacturers in general, the conversation would be a totally different conversation.
Yep.
He froze. I mean, you wanna go into that? I think he froze, Aladdin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we I mean, he summed it up. Mike, you also talked about it more. But at the end of the day, coming back full circle, videos is the way to go. You guys, probably most of you, seeing like in TikTok, why TikTok doesn't have pictures, right? Because videos is the way to go. Let me put it in another perspective. If you look at the biggest universities in the world, are you talking Harvard, Stanford, Yale, right? They got into the master's program. They're all online. You will be like sitting in Japan and taking a Yale class online. And that's the concept that we're trying to do, that reach to people that all over the world and expand this industry and make sure that everybody get educated and, you know, grow the industry in general, like Raymond and Mike said.
When is the next class? Somebody asked a little earlier.
So
you announce that. I'm gonna let you decide that, Ray.
You don't have to announce it. You could. I mean, you can. you can like kind of just say like we're going to announce it on this day.
What you got, Aladdin? What you got?
Actually, this is something we were actually talking about offline, and we want to do something for Tint Wiz community. So drum rolls.
So hold on. Is this something we should talk about? Because this sounds great.
Yes, sir.
It's Mike, hey, Eric, Mike doesn't even know.
Because I got something to run by you all, but I didn't think we should. I just didn't even think to run it by you before.
No, we're doing it now. We're doing it now. Aladdin.
Right, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead. Go ahead, Raymond.
So, Mike, we're just gonna make the announcement now.
Do it.
Let's do it, right? Hold on. So the next Autofilm Mastery workshop is gonna be this year, the day before SEMA. It's going to be on Halloween Day, October 31st. And it's going to be a one-day business mastery event. It's going to be a massive event. What we just did at Aerowerkz, I mean, it was awesome. It was amazing. But we're bringing together the Autofilm Mastery team. That includes Philip. That includes Sean. I mean, we're bringing everybody together, and we're going to have an even bigger one. This one's going to be massive. And you know, it's one of those things where we said, hey, can we do it? Fuck it. Let's figure it out. That's basically what's going to happen right now. So we're going to do it. We're actually looking at a couple of venues that are around the Las Vegas Convention Center. It's going to be at one of the resorts. It's going to be at one of the big buildings over there. And it's going to be a one-day event. It's going to be from 9 to 6. That's all we know right now. But it's going to be a full-on business day. I will say this. We've all been talking to some of the giants in the industry. We have a lot of guys that stepped up. We have a lot of big names. Some of the giants across the West Coast, Central, East Coast. You know, we for damn sure would love to have Eric DeVosh of Tint Wiz show up again and be a speaker. Absolutely, we would love for you to be a guest speaker. But we got some new guys that are coming in that they seen that last event. They said, hey, you know, I'll come in. So we can't really announce it too much. We're going to announce it later on once everything is finalized. But it's going to be a fully packed day with more speakers. Last time we did an 8-hour business day, we had about 6 speakers. We're shortening the speaking times because we're probably going to get close to a dozen. And we're talking, you know, bigger, badder, louder. We're adding into the playbook that's going to be there. So it's it's several months away, and we did that by design. So we have time to plan and prepare for this the right way. And
we're also going to be at WFCT. So
yes.
So we got a booth there. So hopefully I can get a car in and we could show you step-by-step instruction on how to install paint protection film. It is something we want to do to be part of the community. And that's the very important part. Plus I get to hang out with everybody there like we did, year after year. So we're going to be in San Antonio September, and then October 31st we'll be in Vegas. The Vegas one, let me tell you, I have meetings with some really, really, like, I'm talking about the best of the best in this industry. A few of them I trained their shop. It's crazy because I train the shop. They keep me hidden. I'm like that guy, like, don't let nobody know you train us or anything else like that. But you know what? It took them a while. And then they're like, man, you know what? Man, Mike, we don't have to like this because, I tell everybody, I said, the more you think that everybody is your competition, the more you won't grow. And I was like, you have enough. When you wake up in the day, you have enough, like, you got a team and you got enough, stuff to set your team to. This is the direction you need to do. You need to follow up what leads from yesterday. You need to do this. Like, all those steps, you're missing all those steps because you're caring about what you just watched. Like, this dude just got in that Jack C8 Corvette just came in there, and we just talked to him the other day. And how did y'all lost that to this shop? You know what? You should have said, what could we do better next time so we don't lose Jack to the other shop? Not worry about the other shop getting lost. And that's the problem with a lot of things. And I fight this every day, guys. So don't think I'm perfect. I'm not. But I always say when a car goes somewhere else, I say, guys, let me see everything that we did, because I learned from it, and I learned to learn from it. And I was like, what did we do? What did we miss out on? Did we say something wrong? Did we not include something? Did we not do anything? Because we need to learn this so we don't lose Jack to another. Next time somebody come in, and we could always perfect our sales process from top to bottom. But these guys, these guys that we're about to bring into Vegas, they're badass, top of the top shop. And they all love me to death, and we're all coming to understanding that, man, we're not worried about anybody else. We need to worry about us. Mike, thank you for what you do, man. Let me be a part of this, and I love it. They call me, and I was like, man, I never thought you would say yes, because that their mindset wasn't there at that time, and now they understand it more. You need to make sure you live that there's no competition. Your competition is yourself. Just make sure your team get better. That's it.
It's absolutely it. If you spend your time looking somewhere else, you don't move forward. You're looking sideways. Just to kind of recap, your next workshop, October 31st in Vegas. It's the day before SEMA. So it makes sense. You go to SEMA, you go to this, you package them together. It's like 2 events with 1 flight, and I think tremendous value. But before that day, you'll be at the WFCT, which is September 14th through the 16th, in the Autofilm Mastery booth. So somebody who wants a piece of any of these gentlemen can come see them at the booth, September 14th through the 16th. That's in San Antonio, WFCT. Does anybody know potentially when the tickets will go on sale for the next business workshop? Because I know you just said that it's going to be bigger than ever, but I also think that there's a good chance that it'll sell out. So, it's
like I said, Eric,
you might want to get tickets. If somebody wants to go, you get tickets early. You don't get them late,
Eric, I just send you, like I said, we promise your community will be the first to have the link, and I just send it to you.
Okay, so it's in the comments. It's also up on the screen. It's autofilmmastery.com/business workshop. If they follow that link, is that where they'll find out, or can they buy tickets right now this second?
Yes, they can actually sign
right
up
now.
right now. We have an early.
Yeah? Oh, man, that's awesome. Huh?
I know. I forgot that.
No coming soon.
And he's on vacation, so we didn't want to
It's
We
now.
We didn't
We got it
want
ready. It's ready. So we actually have an early
Gotta
bird
make it
sale.
happen.
We have an early bird sale going on right now. I believe it ends sometime in August. It's on the link. It's on there, but it is a discounted price for the full entire day. And yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Every single time we hold these workshops, we come in, we add into the information, we add into the knowledge. We add into,
let me add something though, because so this is something special that we're doing to this workshop.
yep.
If y'all know that we have Sean Roach, so we're gonna actually Autofilm Mastery will be online course for PPF window tinting. And if y'all know something about me, I'm like one of the first guy in the industry that has been doing $1,000 tint since 2010. That is something. So in that blueprint book that y'all about to get that day, it's gonna include everything for window tint too. So how to overcome those sales objection. I'm like, if you're talking about window tint, we like, I hate to say it because I feel like you will never master anything, but I have to say it like we master window tinting, like big time. Like AFS is so damn good at like mastering 1,000, 2,000. Like when I say 1,000, I'm like I'm calming down because our ticket sales actually like 1,500, 1,700 a car. But I don't want to say 1,500, 1,700, but we'll show you how to get that. We'll show you how to overcome the sales objection. So window tint is gonna be on the next workshop in Vegas. Window tint is gonna be a big part of it. So if you are opening a window tint shop, or you've been doing window tint for 5-10 years, there's guys with 20 years experience that still can't get $500. You need to come to this workshop, and we'll show you how to do it.
It's part of the make more money movement.
Yeah.
Sell the value. Learn how to sell the value.
And there was a question if more than one person can come from one business. The tickets, the way they work, my understanding is one ticket is one person. So as many people as you want to bring, as long as everybody's got a ticket, everybody can come, right?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Maybe let's talk about that, guys. A package deal, because we got some guys coming from overseas. Let's talk about that. Maybe we'll put something together if it's possible. We're still trying to see what our expense is going to be for the venue. Because
have you locked in the venue, or you haven't locked in the venue yet? Yeah,
we're in negotiations.
It's a
tough
process. Day being before SEMA.
We're competing against SEMA for crying out loud. You know how much
that's what I mean.
So it's again, that's where it's it's going to be a big one, but we're excited about it because we got a lot of people who are back and supporting us.
I feel like you might want to talk to Patrick Franco. I think he has a penthouse at the MGM, like a personal penthouse that you might be able to use.
God, hey, we'll just use the penthouse.
Because I know when he's not in Laguna Beach, he's often in Vegas, high roller.
Right.
I love it. I need to hang out with Pat more.
I saw that, Eric.
Yeah.
He told me about the beach house. He didn't tell me about the penthouse though.
He keeps things on the low, man. That guy keeps things on the low. But once he takes you in the helicopter, I feel like you start to see what he's about.
Oh, I see. I got the private jet. I didn't know you were only on the helicopter stage.
All right. So tickets are available right now. I would just say this: if you're doubting, if you're questioning whether you should go or not, you should go. But the best way, if somehow you're still doubting it, talk to somebody who was at the last one. Because if you're at the last one, I don't know. Everybody left there. I told you all, everybody left there buzzing, right? Oh, people were outside smoking cigarettes, and the way, the chats and the conversations that were going on just amongst everybody was intensely valuable, immensely valuable.
So again, the true Autofilm Mastery mindset, right? We were starting to ask people, hey, give us some feedback. What do we need to go into more detail on? We're talking. It was hard as hell to get people to give us some criticism, because they were pretty juiced up. They were pretty juiced up at the time, and I'm trying to shift their mind and say, no, think the negative way. Let me know what do we need to bring back, right? So it was exciting. It's electric when you're there because you have everybody in one room that's focused on growth. Those are the people you want to surround yourself with. I've been an events guy my whole life, so it's only natural that we started doing events. For the better half of a decade now, I've always believed in events, the power of events. It lights your ass on fire for the next 6 to 12 months. You know, one conversation changed the game.
100%. One other thing I want to point out is if I could, because it's called autofilm mastery, and maybe sometimes like you don't know anybody and you're this like single person, you're like, oh, I don't know if I would fit in or something like that. I just want to kind of take a second to say, like, I don't think there's any, like, I know you kept emphasizing that it's a like, especially that class, the last one was like advanced, but overall it just felt like, and seeing who attended, it felt like every experience level could be there. If you were there interested in learning, you fit in.
Yes, something to speaker. So on day 2, the advanced installation is absolutely advanced. Don't, you know, it's gonna be hard if you're just learning how to, if you're touching film for the first time on hands-on. But this one, day 1 of our last workshop, and this event is for business. We cater it. The speakers do a great job at catering it towards who's in the room. Usually we open up with saying, hey, who's on their first year in business? Who's year 2, year 3, who's year 5 or beyond, right? So that's where we cater it towards the people that are there live. And, you know, I would say that, yes, it's advanced business because we're going to push you to be advanced. But if you're a beginner, I met with somebody after the event that was actually a mobile detailer, and you know, he got tremendous amount of value. He just wanted to talk with me after this. This was a meeting actually yesterday. And I told him, I said, hey, look, here's, you know, you clearly have your roadmap now. You got the vision for where you can go. You got the insights of the industry now. You had the industry's leaders tell you what to do, how to do it, how to talk, how to walk. But now here's the baby steps to get there. Focus on your website, double down on 5-star reviews, double down on content, get the best pictures, best videos, build your brand, and then, you know, take your next step that's for that business. Plus we have Q&A. You know, that last Q&A, we had to shut it down because we were off. You know, we're gonna have a longer session this time.
Aladdin.
Yeah,
I did. I had excited, but yeah. All joke aside, you know, a couple of events that we had, the last couple of events we had, not the last one, Eric, the one before. We actually, just speaking to the beginners, we had actually guys that they're not really beginners, but they've been working with a dealership, right? Like they've been there doing it for 5 years, and they just wanted to start their own, but they're scared to do it. They jump and make that decision to have their own shop. And when they came to the event, the first mastery advanced training with the business, they were actually relieved when they showed up, and they're like, okay, now I have the tools, and I have the strategy, and I have everything that I need. I'm not scared right now. I'm gonna go all in to do this.
Yes.
And you know, it's a big decision making, but you wanted to just have something to lean on to see, like, okay, am I gonna be successful in this? If I leave, you know, the dealership that I've been installing with them for 5 years, I know how to do it. I know how to install. I know how to train. I know how to get people who work with me. But can I actually survive as a business, start a business like this? And we give them that roadmap and blueprint, like Mike said, that can actually, you know, go head on and, you know, without fear, and tackle it. And we're gonna follow up with them and show you guys the success stories. And this is something that we're gonna bring up, success stories. It's important that we show that this process works. You just need to, you know, don't be on the fence. You need to jump head on. And, you know, tomorrow, like Mike says, tomorrow is tomorrow. That is, you know, the day to start is today. You don't wait until tomorrow, right? So we can't wait to show you guys all the success that
I mean, you know, everybody should always attend. And man, you always attend like a workshop, any seminar, any conference about the profession you're about to get into, whether it be ceramic coating, window tint, or whatever. I promise you, just each workshop, like my first time attending SEMA, I think I grossed the business 40% the next year. And then my second year, 20%, another 20%. Because I'm always going there to learn, not to just show off, not to go walk around and say, what's up? I have an agenda. and I need to like learn more and bring something back to the business that can increase it. But just like this workshop, like this industry is big, guys, and in order for you to make it small, you gotta get to know everybody. So make this industry, this big industry, small for you. And how you do that is just by knowing like the top leader and the top guy and that field, or just a part of that manufacturer or whatever else that he's a leader in. You get to know everybody, around him, and that's how you make something big small. And just attending this workshop is very important. Not just this workshop, but anything else that can speed you up in learning. I mean, you don't want to go through, there's guys that been doing this for 10, 20 years that are doing the same thing they do in year one, and that's why they don't love the industry, because they never saw anything. Like, they look back, they're like, man, I've been making this same paycheck. Yeah, it might increase an extra 5-10%, or
Right.
man, I'm stuck with like 2 or 3 employees. I've been stuck with them guys. I mean, I can't leave for vacation. I only could leave this month. I got shut down the shop. I mean, stuff like that. And that's why they don't love the industry. But if you start working in it, and every month, every year, every day, whatever, you're seeing progress, and your guys are doing good, man. I love it when my guys come in with a brand new car. I'm like, damn, man, he got a brand new car. Like, I already knew he could afford it, but just seeing stuff like that make me happy. Like,
Was that Audi R8 I saw on Instagram yesterday? One of those new cars?
no, those are not. That's
Yeah, I
not.
don't know. Hey,
That's,
hey, Mike's team is good. Hey, don't let Mike fool you. His team is good. Mike's team's good. One of these days, we got to come out with like an installer course, so people can realize how much these installers are making, man. Seriously, that'll solve the installer problem right there.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you actually plan your company right and you do it right, and I didn't know this a long time ago, but it's crazy. If you're able to achieve and overcome sales objection, when you meet that, now you can take that money and you make your team happy, because you're getting a right amount of money to make your team happy. Just imagine paying your team like they're making the money. You cannot start off your business making 6-figure. I mean, you know what? If you start off your business and you do make 70 to maybe 100,000, but think about it, you don't make that. Like, you have to pay taxes. You got to give back to your business and stuff like that. But when you're able to do that, your guys, I mean, this is they're owning a business without taking responsibility, and you're paying them for it, and then they get to come hang out the shop. It's like a hangout for them. And once you achieve that level, and the guys, they all like appreciate, they all hang out together, they're happy together. On Sunday, they go shooting guns all day together. I mean, like, it's just I just love seeing that.
Built a culture, a community, a culture, people who like being around each other. And
they don't get jealous or anything of each other. They all work together, and they're all making good money. They're all helping each other to make good. And they keep on rotating. Like, I'll take my prepper, he'll turn into a prepper, and then maybe a year out, he'll be like a PPF installer, or window tinter, and stuff like that. It's just always evolving, and you always see progress with your team. And then once you achieve that, it's like, I'm still working with them. I could actually go out and an island for 3 months, and I come back and the company was still.
Bro, what a great
island
video.
Boy.
What a
That's an
great
island boy.
video Mike Norng goes on a vacation, and we watch you on vacation while we simultaneously watch your shop, and we see like a split screen. Mike at the beach, and then your shop. I would watch it.
That's a good idea, Eric. Yeah.
All day long, I'd watch it. Live stream that, unedited, and we're in.
Love it.
There's the next Kardashian. There's gonna be a next.
We send you tips, and we buy you drinks through YouTube. Go ahead.
But Eric, we're doing something really, really good. So we're always my brain is always thinking, and I built Autofill Mastery. We built this room in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
It's a badass room. I think next week. Oh, you know what? They're coming tomorrow to do the floor white in the garage. We're still waiting for it. It's gonna come in. But
Are we
not
gonna announce this, Mike? Are we gonna announce this right
nothing
now in
ever
Eric's
like this been
community?
done before. So we are about to live stream our installation, and you get to interact with it, ask questions, and you get to learn from it. You get to see everything that we do from start to finish, and nothing like that ever been done. And you get and so we've been thinking, and the more I think about it, I was like, man, you know what? This got to be done at night when everybody's off of work, and just the dedication that me and my team are willing to do that to make sure we do it. Because the last thing I want to do is have this live streaming, like just say around 2 o'clock and everybody's working and everybody miss it. I want everybody to actually, take advantage of watching this, and we're building that for the film industry. We're going to be doing window tint in there. We're going to be doing PPF, maybe vinyl wrap. I don't know yet, but I know those two things. We're going to be doing it, and it's going to be like super awesome. Cool. So somebody like just say Brad, and he might be watching, and he'd be like, hey, Mike, how much soap you put in that slip solution? Or, hey, can you show us how to do that again? And we could actually show you how we do it again, and you get to see a shop actually do it. Because there's a lot of guys that want to pay to come sit down at somebody and watch them work, but this one you get to actually like ask questions, pick their brain at it. Not only that, we'll have different manufacturer that's going to be there, that's going to be sponsoring it, that's going to actually be doing the install. It might not be me, it might be them, and they're showing how to work their film, how to mix their slip and tack for their film. Color PPF is going to be a big one we're going to be doing on that. We're going to show you how you do color. People always say, how do you put an 8mm purple film on a white car? I mean, we're going to be showing you all that with the manufacturer being there sponsoring, and then they'll show you the process. I mean, sometimes there's a bumper that have to be removed, and you get to see that, because all you see on Facebook and Instagram is the end result. You never see how they got there, and you want to see it. You want to see the mistake. You want to see a real install where somebody get pissed off, rip out that film, throw it away because they got to put on another film, and you want to see that, because you know what? Everything that you're seeing on Facebook is like, man, how this guy do a perfect install on this? You don't know the frustration that he went through, and it's hard on all of us. And you get to see that live, and that's what's like what we want to this room that we're building is what Art of Film Mastery is about to do next, and it's gonna be like crazy.
So that room, okay, for anybody who is at Philip Chan's shop, Aerowerkz, for the last mastery workshop, he had a clean room. He had a Koenigsegg in there getting PPF. It was insane to walk by it. The room was beautiful. The car is beautiful. The whole thing. Then like your clean room, you can go on your Instagram and you'll see it's there. It's like almost done. Unbelievably beautiful. Like your shop is beautiful, but then this clean room's like hyper beautiful. So my question is this: is the main reason for this room the filming? Is there any other reason you feel like if somebody's out there with a big shop, let's say like Carlos, he's got TTM and he's like, I'm doing PPF, I have this big warehouse, should I build a clean room? I'm seeing these two other shops building one. Do you think there's other advantages to having this dedicated area that is sealed off, or is it really for filming, just for filming?
You want something like that, you do not need to make it look that nice. Guys, if you see my shop and you're thinking like how nice it is, that is something like every week or once a month when we get money and whatever is extra, like we take it and put it into building that room. So like all this stuff that you see us have, that stuff we've been having for 10 years, we've been building on it. You don't need a room like that. I see guys building a room like that, and it'll probably cost them like, I don't know, $250,000. You just need something to work in. Like you want a clean room, but it don't need to look that nice. I mean, don't follow all that stuff that you're seeing on Instagram and stuff. I know my room look like that, but I'm doing it like at a slow pace. But you don't need a room like that. A room like that, you're not gonna get a better install because I have a room like that. It just looks better visually for like client to see, and it's showing off to maybe another shop owner or a detailer or whatever, and they see that, they're like, man, look at this awesome room. I'm not doing that for them. I'm actually doing that for the course. So when we start filming, everybody can visually see like what we're doing instead of seeing a dirty floor or something like that, or a wall that's like brown or something. We want to build it where it could actually when we film it, you could actually see everything and ask us questions. But you do not need a room like that, and don't go out your way to do that and build a room like that. You just need something right now to help you install. When you make some extra money, this is very important that you do this. When you make extra money, then you could paint the wall. You make a little bit extra money, you could get some better lights. But yeah, that's hopefully that answer your question.
It does, 100%.
I'm not that guy. Like if you tell me that I need a granite countertop, I'll be like, if that granite countertop is not making me extra money,
right,
I don't want it. Cause I'm gonna get a countertop and paint it white or whatever. It's not gonna do that. I learned that I go into shops and I know that they're probably upside down. They're chasing credit card bill. They're chasing to pay back their investor and stuff like that. I seen that firsthand. And I know why, because I see their shop and everything just got to be over the top, $1 million looking. And I'm like, man, like, you don't need that. You don't need this. You don't need that. You don't need this. You know what? And if you need that, you need to sacrifice something like your life. Like you need to drive like a $1,000 car. You need to take the bus to work. You need to do that. You got to sacrifice something. But I seen it and I get calls on it. And I sometimes I want to be like honest with them. I was like, man, you just got sometimes it's bad when I got an investor that's gonna give me $1 million build a shop because he bought me 20 Ferrari and he's just rich. He's gonna go, man, that dude, he gonna get you because he got all this paperwork and lawyers and everything else. He's just not gonna give you money. Like, and then all of a sudden there's a little war going on, and then I look at the shop and I was like, man, like you're not ready to build that nice shop yet. Don't do it. That don't make you like, don't chase all this Instagram stuff and Facebook that you're seeing like badass shops. So most of those guys, it took them 10, 20 years to get there. But you want to get there tomorrow. You're not going to get there tomorrow. And if you want to do that and borrow somebody money and stuff, that's a big mistake you have, because you're borrowing somebody money. Sweat equity mean more than any money you can give me. Like you can hand me $2 million and you're going to tell me I have to work for that the next 20 years while you're sitting there, getting like 30, 40% or whatever. That's just not worth it. And there'll always be a fight on that. Like, that's the thing.
I think that chase for glamour is like, so there's two sides. Like you said, you can, it's more for the visuals, for the marketing. And then I know like Ray allowed you to jump in and be like, yeah, for videos, if the shop looks good and it doesn't have to be super nice, but there's ways, paint black and white walls and make it feel expansive. But that's for marketing, right? But the tricky thing that I think people are falling into a little bit, it's not your fault by any means, not your beautiful shop's fault, but is like, like Mike just said, thinking you need them. And what happens too, you said you have a little extra money and you spend it, which is good, but I feel like you have a little extra money and you save it. And then when you have kind of like a good amount of extra money, you start to spend it, because what can happen, like I'm saying, I've seen it with some shops, is like they get a little extra money, they put floor and they go back to no money. Then they get a little extra money, they put a water purification system, then they go back to no money. Then something kind of rough is happening and a slow week, and they're going, what am I going to do? I had a slow week. And it's like, bro, you need to save your money, because that's not how fucking business works. It's not like a paycheck every week. It comes and it goes. So anyway, I'm not correct. I'm just telling, I want to say what you said is so right, that like, you don't want to chase any of that, because like for sure there's one bay shops that'll turn out 10, 15 cars in a day, put more money in everybody's pocket than a lot of other shops. And you're not trying to recoup $100,000 you sunk into things that are just now in your shop and don't necessarily like.
I mean, you've been to my shop in Midtown, right, Eric?
No, I've only been to the north. I haven't been to Midtown.
So my shop in Midtown, we have two shops, but one is AFS. It only could work on 2 cars. I made it 2-story. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've seen the picture, but it only could take 2 cars. And I tell guys, because I came from a small space. That's the first big space I ever had. That small shop produced 7-figure. It only could do 2 cars at the same time. It's something very, very important. And they said, man, nobody believed how that shop can do over $1 million. I said, it's something very important about that shop. I only do window tint. I only do PPF. Like, if you ask me to like put on a lower split or something on your car, I won't do that. Like, that shop have to make money. And it produced, our window tint is doing like 1,000 like every 2 or 3 hours. It don't do none of those color change wrap. It don't do paint your caliper. It don't do none of that stuff. Like somebody come in and be like, hey, let me use your bay. I'm gonna pay you $200. I said, man, you crazy. Like, that one bay will do like $3,000 a day. I got 2. It will do 6,000. And then that's the crazy part. People don't see that. They thinking you gotta have an 8,000 square foot shop to produce 7-figure. But if you actually do it right, you can actually make 7-figure in a 1-bay shop. I mean, your space and time is very important. So just say you do like 10 different services. Say you fix, I don't know. Say you do paint chip repair and you paint caliper. You do vinyl wrap, and then you do PPF. If you was to take everything hourly and what you could do in a day, you could do 2 PPF and start and make $4,000 in a 1-bay shop. Or you could do a color change wrap, make $2,500, but 5 days. Or you could do a caliper painting that'll take you a whole day because you got to wait for paint to dry before you put on base coat, top coat, and then that'll take you a whole day and you only get $600. People are not thinking about that. They just want to add so much stuff. The simpler you go, the more money you make, and you got to know like what service is making you money. But so the thing, I mean, we started off doing everything, Eric. So I'm not trying to say if you don't do everything, but if you don't learn from it, you'll keep on doing everything that makes no sense, and you won't get nowhere. And everybody always think like, I got to have more space to make more money. What if you take that space you have and make more money? And people don't, their mindset is not there to do that,
Mike, I think what you're speaking to right now is one of the classic pitfalls of entrepreneurs, early on in their goal, early on in their journey. And, sometimes that early on pitfall lasts years and years into their business. And what I mean by that is, a lot of these guys, they start making good money for the first time. I mean, myself included. Like, I grew up in, public school system, biggest public school in Northern, actually, I think California, growing up in apartments. So when I first started making money, I don't know where I got it from. I think it was a book I read, but I was terrified that I was going to be irresponsible with that money. And I think that's what happens with a lot of people. They start making money for the first time, and they make that one really big paycheck, and they think they've made it. And then they start saying, well, hey, I deserve this for my shop. I deserve this image. I can do this. I can afford that. Because they go on social media, they see all these amazing shops, but they don't realize that there's no, I've made it. There's no destination. It's always, you make it daily, and they forget, when you start making more money, you don't change your lifestyle, and your business lifestyle too. You make more money. You're not supposed to increase your expenses. You don't want to do that. Like something that Mike said, which is a gold mine. I mean, one thing that he said is every dollar is an investment. Like every single dollar is, I got to make sure it makes me money. Yep. And at the end of the day, a lot of guys, like Mike said, they'll go and upgrade. They'll go buy that expensive shit for their car, but they never check to make sure that increased that there is an ROI on that buy. Everything that I watch Mike and Vu and his partner at AFS, I watch them carefully, and man, everything is precise. It's like, hey, we're gonna buy this because it's gonna do this, and it's gonna do this, and here's
we can not buy a car. We could go out and buy a Lamborghini right now, cash. I'm not trying to brag on anything.
Yep. Yeah.
But that Lamborghini won't make any more money because I don't have Lamborghini owner as a client.
Exactly. He got a Model 3.
Like I would buy a Tesla, and the Tesla customer, like we're trying to, our next car is a Rivian. We already attempted to buy a Porsche and try to attract Porsche customer. They're just a little bit harder for us. But you know, that didn't work out. So we're not just seeking out to go buy a Porsche, but every car that you buy, if you're in the automotive industry and if you're buying a car, if you're buying it because that's like the car I dream up and wanted to have, that's the wrong car to buy. You should buy the car that will make you money, because turn that car into a marketing tool. Think about that.
That's the right way.
And then maybe later on when you're like highly successful, like you're making way too much money, go buy that dream car. Nobody's trying to stop you. But if you're still trying to question and why I don't have this yet or why I don't have this yet, is because like you're trying to do this and that. That's not for your business. You know, there's a lot of stuff. I've seen people buy crazy ass business card. You know, I don't have a business card. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But
Me neither.
I see people buy business card that cost, I think, like 50 cents to $1 each. They're like metal.
Right.
And they asked me, why do I not have business card? I said, you know, I'll give somebody my personal number. And why I don't have business card? Because I used to have a business card, and then when I came back or whatever, I saw it on the floor, and that like kind of upset me. I mean, even though that business card was paper, and I didn't spend a lot of money on it, but I seen guys buy badass business card, and if you're one of those guys that bought it and you're like highly successful, there's nothing.
They're all tools, right? It's a tool, and you can use it or you can not.
But if you're buying that business card and it's not making you money, don't buy it. There's a bunch of business stuff that you're buying that don't make money. And like if you're, I see shops giving away a bottle of water and they're spending extra money to put their name on it. And I don't think, personally, in my head, I don't think that bottle of water, because you have your label on it, and then you spend an extra like 50 cents to put that label, will make you more money. I just don't think you should spend on that, because I wouldn't. Because you're about to drink that water, crunch it up, throw it in the trash. Just think about that. Your sign just got thrown in the trash. Who want that? Like, I don't want that. Like, you're not about to take my stuff and throw it in the trash. You see, Eric gave me this, and it's not gonna be thrown in the trash though. I'm just letting you know. Like, I don't like you know, like Eric gives some really, really cool stuff, and I see the stuff that he's giving, and I was like, I know Eric spent some money on some of those stuff because he really thought about it. But there's some stuff that people buy for their own business that just don't make sense. You know,
can you tell him why Eric give this at Autofill Mastery last workshop? Can you?
Man, it's crazy. He gave everybody this Beat headphone to everybody that went to Autofill Mastery. I'm not trying to put a price or anything on it, but man, I couldn't believe, like, think about this.
But what was the reason? What is the reason behind it? He told us the reason.
Because so when he was going to Tint Wiz, he said it's so easy for you to get your proposal and do your stuff on it. But I mean, unless he said something else
and answered the phone. Yeah. He said that, you know, we were shocked. Like, just to answer your phone while you're working, and you don't have to use, you know, handheld phone. So your headphone is right there. Answer the phone while you're installing, and you know, keep going.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, Mike, going back a step where you said like you don't like that people throw away your business cards or whatever, like you are the bottle of water as well. I totally agree with you, frankly. And like that's kind of part of even like the bags. Like we could make bags that were plastic and they would have been a bag, but what are you going to do with a plastic bag? You're going to throw in the trash. Like I don't want to. Like it seems weird to invest money in something that for sure is going to end up in the trash, unless there's an exception, of course. But and the headphones, like you said, it just. I also like I see it this way as well. You invited me to this event that was a very valuable event. People spent money to come to it. They traveled across the country, and I truly feel like humbled that I get to be a part of that. And I want to make sure that I'm provide value to your event and to the people that came to your event.
Yeah.
So, you know, to me, it was like, how can I really provide value? Because like free stuff is fun, right? Things that taste good are fun. Like it's all fun. But like, I'm like, how can we really, really like somehow like actually improve the next day? And really, whether you use Tint Wiz or not, you're going to get a phone call the next day. You're going to need to do something on your phone with it, and having your headset, not holding a phone up to your ear and doing this is an improvement. So that was the idea behind it.
I mean, you know, every workshop that we hold, over 50% of everybody don't have a CRM though, which is I think it's pretty crazy, you know.
It's still just the beginning.
What the world as it today, because if I mean, same thing with like doing marketing. Like you could be next door to somebody providing a service and they don't know you're there because they're searching online for like something.
Right.
And it's the same thing with a CRM. I mean, you have to use all that, and you know, we try to go into talking. This is not 1980, 1990 where you go to your local, your somebody broke your door glass with a baseball and you go to your local glass shop around the corner and go get your glass replaced.
Right.
I mean, you could call your glass could be broken and you're calling the shop that's showing up on top. And that shop might be like, you know, 30 miles away. It's crazy. I mean, you know, like just how the world is working, and you have to work with it, and that's what auto film mastery. We're always thinking like ahead, and we always want to make sure, right? We provide like everything, especially with training and how the industry is going with this, because you know, you learn something from a manufacturer. A manufacturer will always be here, like in this shell, because that's all they could do, you know, for you. Like they might be the only one. They might only be producing clear PPF, and they might not have, you know, a black PPF, a color PPF, and stuff like that. And you always be stuck in that. And then you always got to make sure you always move your company forward. I promise you, in a few years, PPF might. Shit, I mean, it might. Everybody might be doing. There might be no longer vinyl no more because you know color PPF are coming out. I don't know. I'm not trying to speculate anything, but that's where I see it going. Like people will start doing color change with PPF instead of vinyl. You know, to protect themselves from rock chip and scratches. Plus, it's 10 years, so they get 10 years instead of, you know, vinyl is 1 year horizontal surface and like 2 years vertical surface on warranty, you know. So you better take off that vinyl in 2 years. This one you could leave it on. By that time, you sold your car in 5-7 years.
Yeah. Anything to add, Ray?
No, I love it.
Mr. Aladdin, anything to add? Did we?
I mean, Mike covered it all, and we're just glad to have shared this information with everybody. I know this is a lot of information and a lot of things to take in, but that's what we strive to do with Autofill Mastery. We'll want to give as much value as we can to just help everybody, and that's the bottom line.
I think it shows, and it's working, and congratulations to you all for putting on such a successful event and launching this program. It's no easy feat. It takes a lot of consistency I can only imagine. I mean, I can only imagine the amount of consistency it takes to be able to produce a course, because just producing content for yourself is an impossible job to many, let alone producing content that's educational and consistent and building a library over a year and so on. So applauds to you. And also on the awareness, you always talk about awareness and the way MediaTune does their marketing to reach out to people who maybe don't know about PPF through video, which we can all agree is the absolute best way to communicate. Like, there's no question about it. That's why, like you said, we're here. So
right.
I really think that I know you all are leaders. I mean, who would disagree? And when we brushed on like the lack of content out there, I think you all are literally like leading like how content can look. You're one of the examples of how content can look. And I think whether people just follow you, whether they attend the course, whether they join the mastery, or they're just in the peripheral, everybody's learning and you're elevating the industry. So I sincerely mean it. Keep it up. And, thank you for doing all you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, Eric. We're excited. Appreciate you, man.
Cool. Well, likewise. And for anybody who maybe joined late or needs that link again, I am going to put it up on the screen. You can register right now for the next Autofilm Mastery Business Course, which will be October 31st. It's the day before SEMA. It's in Las Vegas. The exact location will be announced, but that is how you can sign up. And if you don't sign up, it may get sold out and then you can't go. So, and that's just like a truth, right? Because it sold out last time. So it's not a hype, it's a fact. So
absolutely. Yeah. We're going to have to stick to whatever the convention or the center allows us to book. So,
or Patrick Francisco's penthouse. All right. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you all for doing this.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
take care, everybody.
Bye.